Welcome to Auto Life channel. We're going to review my video and maybe go over some things I may have missed. The Toyota Corolla Hybrid, haven't been driving her, so that's the miles. 481,778. Using oil change, and we're going to give you an update on what's going on. No, I'm not changing the oil because I'm not driving it. I could easily change the oil and just let it sit, but once I decide to actually start driving her again, then I'll change the oil. With the Corolla Hybrid. So I also started the car up this morning and the engine didn't turn on. So that lithium ion battery is really good. I didn't start this car up in over a week. So this morning I went out there to my garage, started it up. I was in there for about 10 minutes. Engine didn't cut on. So that tells me that that lithium battery is still good. So I haven't been driving it. It's been sitting. This is a 2019 Toyota Corolla Hybrid. I started up once a week. So I haven't done oil. I haven't put gas in here. Now if you don't know, I have a headlight out. All right. It is on the passenger side, on the right side. It's on this side. All right. Now, for the Corolla Hybrids, they are LED assemblies. So that means you cannot change the individual bulbs. So let's go show you. That's the headlight. The car is on. That's the. Yeah, and I don't think Toyota actually manufactures these. They get them from somewhere. So they decided to, you can fact check that. They decided to go with the headlight assembly in which you could not replace the bulb. And I think that's a crime. You know, the cost of insurance for when these, break. Well, you're not paying out of pocket, but when you do have to pay out of pocket, if for some reason the insurance doesn't cover it, that's how much it's going to cost. And the aftermarket, it's not going to be $100, $200 for the aftermarket one. It's going to be fairly expensive. Left side, and this is the right side. Now you can go to the junkyard, pick and pull or whatever you have in your area, but they know how much these LED headlight assemblies cost, so you're not going to get out of that pick and pull, for $50. Just for a 2020 LED headlight assembly, they're going to charge you a couple $100. All right, so that I priced at about. It's been a while since I looked it up. I saw one for $800 and $400 for the entire assembly. So that will not be purchased. Yeah, not at this price. I won't purchase $1,000 headlamp assembly for a car that I barely drive. If anything, I'll just drive this during the day, or I'll get rid of it. Right. Second thing that's going on that you may not know is the front end damage on the Corolla. So I've used various means to keep this bumper on. It won't stay on because it's missing a fender and the proper attachments inside the clips. So it won't stay on. Bumper. Now, the headlight is also, it's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like. Now, that bumper, I believe I lost that, and the first time it pulled, away from the car, it got damaged, was during a rainstorm. I believe I was in Virginia when it happened. And a tree hit the bumper, and I ran over the tree branch, which is a thick tree branch. So I think that may have reduced the life of the LED. So that LED they do last long, because you can see the left one is still working. So I think when that damage, the tree branch, the thick tree branch hit it, it reduced the life of the tree branch. It reduced the life of the headlight. Like this. Can you see that? That's how it's supposed to look. So I believe this went out prematurely because of the damage. A tree branch fell on it during a rainstorm, and it reduced the life of it with the impact, which was here. And it knocked this loose. Let's check the other side. That's tight. All right, but as you can see on the other side, now that's not the original battery. That's not the original battery. I could only I jacked the car up one day, and then the battery died. That's a weird coincidence. And the nearest place only had this size battery that would fit, so I had to run and grab this one. I had to, carry. I had a hand truck. I went back and forth to the store with the core and this battery to get my car started so I could get to work. But that's not the battery that actually fits this car. It's tight. All right, but as you can see on the other side, all right, this happened when rainstorm, tree branch fell on the hood. I rode over the tree branch, and it tore the guts out on the bottom. All right, let's go to the water pump. I'm getting this water pump circuit B, coolant pump circuit B, malfunction. That's the water pump right there. Let's see if I can. AC still works. Yeah, somebody asked me about the AC. Was it ever serviced? It's still blowing cold. Well, the HVAC system still blowing cold, still blowing heat. All right, so cooling everything down, ice cold, and it gets toasty in there for the temperature controls. So AC is working completely fine, and I've never serviced it. Right there, you see that, like a grate, cheese grater? Right there, that's it. Where that finger's pointing at, that's the water pump. All right, coolant pump circuit B, malfunction. That's between $200 and $400 from what I saw, aftermarket to the original equipment. So it's probably closer to $400. Now I don't know if I can actually make that purchase at $200, so I have to go back and look to see if that $200 price was authentic. But for the 2020 Toyota Corolla, that pump is around, let's say, $300. It's going between. All right. Now, how is the hybrid battery doing? The hybrid battery is actually normal. I believe this is the lithium battery they have. All right. Well, today I'm reviewing an older video. Today I started the car up, meaning powered it on, and it still had the 3 original bars displayed on the dash, and the engine did not start. So this battery from 2019 is holding up. So if the engine started, that's telling me that the power in the hybrid battery was low. So it didn't start up, and I was in the car for about 10 minutes, and the engine did not start. So I know that hybrid battery is still good. So for those of you who are wondering about the longevity of the lithium ion batteries, the ones that Toyota manufactures anyway, or purchases from a third party, they probably purchase it from someone else, it's holding up. All right, this is what, 5 years later. Unlike the nickel metal hydrate in the Perma research, I have to look it up again. Nickel metal hydrate in the Rav4. Yes, in Perma research, only one model has the lithium ion in the Rav4. I believe it's the Prime, if I'm not mistaken. The Prime has a lithium ion, so it goes nickel metal hydrate, lithium ion, and lithium phosphate to be the best batteries in the market per my research. But the battery seems to be holding up after 5 years with the normal discharge rate, charge rate. I'm sure it's degraded over time, but it doesn't appear to be unreasonable. Go back to the brakes. I was gonna take the tire off, but I said, nah, we're developing some rust, and these have never been changed since 2019. Well, you can check out my other video I did on my brakes, and I go into, well, I'll show you. I took the tire off, show you what it looks like. These are the original from the dealership from 2019. Check that out. And that's how you know it's on. You can see this. Can you see the spider webs? Yep, there you go. So you know I'm not driving it. All right, so we got some rust up there. That can probably burn off, even though I would still inspect those and give it a once over. So these I end up putting on, and they come with like a rubber, like a thick rubber strap that just goes in between the two, and that holds the bumper off. It's supposed to be like a quick disconnect, but this is what I found to kind of, rig this on. And this is an aftermarket bumper. It never actually fit right from the beginning, so that was always originally, when this was originally repaired, when I first had some front end damage, that's how it actually set. All right, so aftermarket bumpers, or maybe something twisted inside somewhere. See, that's how it originally fit when it bumper first got replaced. All right, this was fully working. This is two separate accidents, when this new bumper and the reason why the bumper's not attached or staying on. Two different accidents. All right, and the transmission fluid is good. So this transmission is bulletproof. It's going to last the rest of the life of this car. But she made me a lot of money. I got stuck one time in the mountains when I got off the main road, but otherwise this 2020 Corolla Hybrid has never let me down. And yes, it uses the 016 oil. It uses that spark plug I did this year. You can see the green crusties on the ground strap. Now I have not changed the inverter fluid, but this is the inverter fluid here, inverter coolant fluid that cools the inverter, and this is the radiator fluid. All right, so I have not changed that since. I've never changed it. It's never been changed by me or the dealer, so not a major priority, but over time the fluid will become acidic and it'll start eating away at the weaker parts that are susceptible to the acidic nature of the fluid. So that has to be changed. It's been, now the problem I have with the coolant pump or the water pump is a coolant pump circuit B malfunction. That's electronic. All right, so per my research, these water pumps last about 100,000 miles, and then they go out. But I got over 481,000 miles out of that water pump. So that's pretty much the main thing that has to be fixed on this car is that water pump, because as I drive, it's an intermittent malfunction. So sometimes it'll show up and sometimes it won't. I have to be, I don't really trust this car going long distances, because when it does malfunction, the computer like shuts the car down, so you can't drive. It'll tell you to pull over, and the engine will power down, and the accelerator won't work. So I wouldn't feel comfortable driving that long distances without replacing that, because it's intermittent. Sometimes it'll show up, I drove it and it never came back, and then other times I drove it and the code will come back. 5 years, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yep, 5 years. It's been 5 years. So that needs to be changed. All right, now I have the Rav4, so it's not a priority. However, when I move, and beauty over there, all right, you can see a little bit of her, and it would make more sense that I reduce, not having to worry about, where I'm parking, legally parking this at registered and insured, having to come back and check on it. And I thought about, some legal insure it, just leave it in a city, on the city, to, consolidate my, or she still runs, it's not, and she's still going to run. Has something to do with the variable valve, and she's still going to run. Now, at times the engine gets a little noisy. I believe the has something to do with the variable valve timing, if I'm not mistaken. They get noisy, so I'll have to do that to reduce the noise, and over time it's eventually going to get worse and worse the sound. So I watched a few videos on that, with the startup noise being really noisy, then quieting down during the when engine gets warmer. If you know what I'm referring to, please. Yeah, that was the variable valve timing solenoid, if I'm not mistaken. It was I believe I watched the Car Care Nut. He has a really decent channel on Toyotas, and he goes into it, so I did confirm that. Write that in the comment section. Please make a comment. All right. Now the last thing that was very annoying, the issue I have, was these washer nozzles. Where are you at? These washer nozzles. Yeah, when I had the front end damage, it damaged the reservoir for the washer fluid reservoir, and we got some debris and dirt end up getting in there. So over time dirt crept up into the system and clogged those nozzles. And I've been buying inferior, I think I bought 2 sets so far, inferior nozzles, and they have not been really working out. Not spraying right, the correct spray pattern, have not been, clearing the windshield properly, because of, it not coming out all the way, spraying in an odd direction. So that's been, I would have to look at that if I actually want to take this car seriously, which I'm not. I'm more than likely going to get rid of it somehow. Yeah, that may be, or give it to a friend or a family member, or park it somewhere, near a friend or family member legally. I haven't decided yet. I have until, what, January to decide, if I'm going to stay where I'm staying at, continue renting here. And if I'm not, I'm going to have to get rid of, well, I don't have to get rid of it. I can just, like I said, park it somewhere at a friend's house, or could give it away. Because the main reason, this headlight, which you can see the side markers, yeah, so I either have to get a OEM aftermarket headlight, or something that's very close to the original equipment. Not paying $1,000 for it, not doing that, or not replace it and don't drive it at nighttime. Just drive it during the day. It's on, but the headlight is out. Yeah, you can see these are on. The headlight's out. I don't know if they were actually on. Out. Yeah, you can. I'm not sure. They look like they're on. I'm not sure if I was accurate at that point when I originally did the video. See, these are on. The headlight's out. Let's check that out. See, those are on. The headlight's on. Now the high beams still work. And then I go and thinking that the high beam is on, but the high beam is actually out also. It's not working. So the high beam and the low beam are not working on that side, and it's on. You see that blue, and you can probably hear the relay, or not. So it's on. All right, so the low beam. And that's the high beam. Yeah, and I said it looks like a bull. Looks like a bull. So, and I show the right hand headlight assembly. They wanted $1,100 for it from the dealer, the OEM. High beam and the low beam. I thought the high beam worked before. I may have been mistaken. But those are the issues. That's the update. More than likely going to, well, I'll end the video here. Hope this video was edifying for you. Check out my other videos. Until next time.